What's the date today?
21st of May.
It's the 21st of May. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles. We're about to hear 3 more personal commitment speeches. She stands before you managing attention, communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi guys, I'm Devin.
Hi, Devin.
So the President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition reports that by 2030, half of the U.S. adult population, which is around 115 million adults, will be obese. So today I want to share with you my personal commitment to good and healthy nutrition. I'll share with you 2 reasons why I am personally committed to good and healthy nutrition and 3 actions that I've taken to demonstrate my personal commitment. I know various aspects of this speech will be of interest to you because as young adults, most of us have had to deal with some sort of weight struggle, deciding whether or not to exercise on a particular day, or trying to use our self-control to resist eating that last donut. So the first reason that I am committed to good and healthy nutrition is because obesity runs in my family. And my grandmother, who was quite the heavy woman in her late 70s, had to undergo 2 open-heart bypass surgeries because she had diabetes. And unfortunately, she passed shortly thereafter. But I vividly remember being in her kitchen, and of course as a grandma she made the most incredible meals. But she would just use as much butter as possible, and other unhealthy ingredients that just should not be consumed on such a regular basis. And so that's the first reason that I'm personally committed to good and healthy nutrition. I'm trying to beat my familial genes. So the second reason that I'm committed to good and healthy nutrition is because it wasn't until last year, my freshman year in college, that I realized how many girls deal with eating disorders and their eating habits. So, and I related to some of these girls that shared their stories with me because for some reason, mind you, I have a very healthy relationship with food. I love eating, and I eat really healthily throughout the week, but I make sure to throw in like a couple cheat meals every year and again. So, but for some reason, during my senior year of high school, I significantly limited my diet, and sometimes I just wouldn't eat anything. And I don't know if I would call this a full-on eating disorder, but it became a concern to my parents so much so that they had to explain to me, you know, like your cheekbones are looking sunken in, your natural coloring in your face isn't as vibrant as normal, and you're looking really, really thin. So it wasn't until this moment that I realized just how much I had been limiting my diet. So this is the second reason that I'm personally committed to good and healthy nutrition, because I don't want to get back to that place. So now I'm going to share with you some actions that I've taken to achieve this personal commitment. So the first action that I've taken, living in the dorms, I've made an effort to eat the majority of my meals at B Plate, which is the healthiest dining hall option. And UCLA makes an effort to not only share with us how the ingredients are positively affecting our bodies, but also how the ingredients are coming from local and sustainable locations. The second action that I've taken is I've made sure to include a cheat meal every once or twice a week. So eating healthily can get really tedious really, really quickly. So I just want to make sure that my taste buds are up and going again. And the third action that I've taken is I've tried to change my attitude about food. And it can be so easy to look at the healthy protein options and the vegetables and just think, God, why am I eating this when I could be eating a burger or a piece of pizza or a cake? But I want to be putting the healthiest possible things into my body so that it's running as best as it can. And like they say, your body's kind of like a car, and you want to be putting the best possible oil and equipment into the car so that it runs as smoothly as possible. And after completing these actions, I just felt so much better about myself and just healthier overall, with a lot more energy. So in summary, I've given you 2 reasons that I am personally committed to good and healthy nutrition, and 3 actions that I've taken to demonstrate this personal commitment. In conclusion, there should be no doubt in this room that I am personally committed to good and healthy nutrition. And as the President's Council stated, in the upcoming years, it's expected that over half of the adult population in the U.S. is expected to be obese, fall into the category of obese. So I hope this speech may have encouraged you to slightly maybe change your eating habits towards the more healthy options. But also, don't forget to sometimes eat that last donut. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. time?
4:25.
Thank you. Let's start over here.
Hello, my name's Eric.
Hi.
Really liked your speech. It was very organized. And you went like format good. It ran pretty smoothly. You moved around, so it's a good speech out now.
Follow the outline. Improvement.
Hi guys, I'm Silvio.
Hi, Silvio.
I also really liked your speech. I thought it was really organized and everything. It was really easy to follow. If I was to say something, it could be sometimes your eyes just kind of wandered while you were like thinking from like point to point. When I noticed, but besides that, like, that was really good.
Okay. Devin, let's talk about your speech. You started with an arresting fact. Half of the adult population in the United States will be obese. So stress that word half. Make it even more dramatic so it stands out. See? So use your voice to really grab your audience with that. You look pretty physically fit, so didn't surprise me that you chose this topic. You related it well to your audience. You told us a personal story about your grandmother dying of diabetes and overweight and had to go to bypass operations, and she put butter in everything, and that was pretty good, and you wanted to break that pattern or the genetics that you've inherited or something, so that was okay. The second reason and the second story you told, and I thought you could have probably given us more detail, was your getting close to having an eating disorder in high school, and your parents called you on it and pulled you back from it, and those are no fun and not good. And I would have liked you to have expressed your feelings about, that kind of scared me, and I was thinking maybe I have gone too far with this diet and eating, and so I, decided to make a mid-course change. Your actions were all consistent with your PC, so that was good. I like this idea of, the cheat meal, so it's not just, you're not claiming you're Gandhi or Jesus and you never sin, so that was good. And I like that you had the fourth step of your feeling of, how you feel when you do this, and so that was good. Your summary, your conclusion, and tieback were all fine, and you had your little donut in at the end. And again, stress the half when you go back to the quote at the end. Your connives were to not go over time, move 3 times, and to maintain better eye contact with the audience. How'd it go?
Well, I moved 3 times for the first time. Was it enough movement?
Yes,
And then I tried to maintain better eye contact. I kept trying to go back and forth.
Right, and try to make it a little bit longer, and don't be so consistently back and forth. And you remember the eye exercise we did in class on Tuesday. Try to do something like that. And when you're practicing with a friend, have him or her hold their hands out like this, and then do 5 seconds there, 5 seconds there, 5 seconds here, so you without blinking, and so you practice that quality eye contact. All right, let's go with our acronym really quickly.
Everyone, I'm Gio.
Hi, Gio.
So the first acronym of success is simplicity. And how do you strip an idea to its core without turning it into a silly soundbite? I think that Devin didn't really go into the second concern into diet. She didn't really dive into the more specific things when it comes to dieting, like carbohydrates, fats, whatever. And I think she did very well at giving like a brief overview of like the effects of dieting, and I think she did really well at effectively relating it to her situation.
Kept it simple enough, so it was easy enough. Okay, good. Thank you.
Second acronym is unexpectedness, and it's how well she can hold the audience's attention, I guess, from the moment she does it.
Yeah, say your name, please.
Oh, I'm Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
And I think that she got our attention pretty early on with the half of the United States being obese. And from that point, I think there were times where I kind of like lost focus because it kind of got too into detail. But like overall, I thought it kept our attention pretty well. So.
Okay, could you think of something else unexpected she could have put in there? Or something more unexpected she could have done? Or let's help her, or let's ask her. You designed the speech. You're required to have something unexpected in your speech. What was it, Devin?
I mean, I think what I thought was unexpected was, I'm not super small, but I don't think you'd expect me to have an eating disorder just looking at me.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. So you think your body speaks for itself? Is that your point?
Yes.
Okay. I don't agree, but okay. But I think you want to structure certain unexpected things that you can throw in, like the punch in the gut. Where did that come from? Is he here today? He's not here today? Yeah. That was unexpected, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go on.
Hi everybody, I'm Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Alright, so the next one is seed recruitment, and I thought that your speech was pretty concrete. I don't think that you were using any really abstract ideas or anything for this, so...
It's concrete enough. It was easy to follow. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Gabe.
Hi, Gabe.
Mine is credibility. I thought it was pretty credible. I forgot who you cited at first with the obese thing, but I don't think you lied to us. And everything else seemed pretty, like you, it was coming personally, so your story.
What are the 3 dimensions of credibility, Gabe?
Well, now. So trustworthiness, she seemed very trustworthy, and she seemed sincere, and is dynamic. I'm sorry, you caught me off guard. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught you off guard because I expect you to know the material in the class.
Yeah.
Okay, expertness, trustworthiness, and dynamism. Okay.
Yes.
Did she, by citing expert testimony from the President's Council, take on some expertness herself?
Yeah, and it also helps everything else that followed seemed trustworthy because she cited something like that at first.
And dynamism refers to not a boring, monotone delivery. Could she have been more dynamic and animated in her presentation?
Maybe a bit, but I mean, she was talking about like I guess personal stuff, so it'd be kind of weird. She was all excited about it and like jumping around during that part.
Thank you. Next.
Hi, I'm Jonathan.
Hi, John.
The next step is emotional,
Yeah.
and I felt like Devin was emotional, especially when she talked about her grandma and her passing and how like it is run in her family. So she had to like, I guess it's deep. She's predispositioned to have a disease, so I can feel her worries.
Fear or worry. Okay. Let's talk about your emotions and which emotions you were consciously hoping to communicate in your speech. Do you remember consciously thinking I felt sad when my grandmother died, and did you have that felt sensing that we went through in this film speech?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get across a little bit, but I also didn't really want to get that heavy with it because it was just, I just didn't want to get that heavy with the emotion of sadness.
Well, we need to get a little heavy to get some emotion coming out. So you need to walk the razor's edge. You heard me use that metaphor. We need to get some tearing up, some. We don't want to just lightly go over, oh, my grandma died, and let the audience infer that's sad. That's not enough. Okay. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Sunny.
Hi, Sonny.
Mine is stories.
Yes.
She had 2 stories at the beginning, the one about her grandmother and then the one about the eating disorder. Again, it added emotion into it, so it made it more relatable, I guess. And I thought the stories did well to, I don't know, emphasize a more human point, but to bring it, like, so it had more to do with, like, us as people rather than just an idea.
Okay, good. Okay, so overall you did a good job. Work on, I think, some of the aspect of the unexpected, emotional, eye contact. Thank you. Okay. Next, A. Who is it? What's your last name?
Pardo.
Pardo. How did I miss you? Yeah, you're a big A. I see you there. Nathan Pardo.
Yeah, do you mind if I keep my hat on? I have like really bad.
Yeah, I do mind. Why do you have to have it on?
Because I have bad head. It's distracting.
What?
I guarantee it would be distracting.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Next time, get some Brill cream. A little dab will do you.
Yeah.
No stapler, huh?
No, I just
No, life is rough.
yeah.
You want to stand back by the green? Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, stands before you. Managing attention. Her computer's opened again. They're talking. Communicating respect non-verbally, saying to himself, I respect my audience. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center, say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi guys, I'm Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
Okay. Just want to let you guys know that everyone is ignorant. Yeah, I know. Bear with me. In this case, I'm talking about ignorance as in the lack of knowledge or general awareness of particular things. So, for example, a math professor focuses on math, genius, you know, in his craft. However, when he chose to choose the field of math and be a mathematician, he also inherently chose to be ignorant of many other fields of knowledge. And this isn't a bad thing. We actually commend them. But what it highlights is that everyone still remains ignorant in the basic sense. However, Oxford Dictionary defines another term, Renaissance man, as a person with many interests or fields of knowledge. And, you know, I guess you could basically tell that if they have more areas of knowledge, they're less ignorant. So I want to share with you today my personal commitment to cultivate all areas of my interest and be as little ignorant as possible and become a modern-day Renaissance man, if you will. So I'm going to give you 2 reasons and 3 actions I've done to fulfill my personal commitment to become a modern-day Renaissance man. And the first is the fact that I just have so many interests, like, to ignore. I mean, growing up, I filled with a house full of, like, I don't know, 12 people who have different interests, different skills and stuff, and it's just so hard to ignore all these things. And then growing up, you know, watching TV, watching YouTube, all these people with different skills. And you're like, I like this, I like that, and it would feel very limiting to ignore those interests. So that's my first reason. The second reason that I want to become a modern day Renaissance man is that because talented and interesting people are the most interesting, you know? Like, no one really focuses on people that just stay at home and don't do anything or don't have much knowledge about things. And I grew up with my grandpa. He knew how to play 19 instruments, but he didn't know how to read. So, go figure. My mom, she knows how to sing. My dad, he knows like so much about so many things, and he knows how to sing, and he plays so many instruments. And I looked up to these people, you know, like I couldn't help but feel inspired. And looking at them and realizing, you know, I have so much potential. I mean, I'm in this environment of interest and talent, and I better not waste my potential that I was blessed with. So that's my second reason. Now, the first action that I've taken to cultivate all areas of my interest and my knowledge is that I do personal development. So I cultivate my mind and myself spiritually. So one example of this is I read books about like personal development books, or like motivational books, or I listen to audio tapes. They're motivational speakers or pastors that I look up to because I'm a Christian. And with that, I also read the Bible. You know, full of plenty of uplifting quotes and uplifting mantras to live by. And I just feel like these things are very important to develop yourself as a really good person, because knowledge is not the only thing, but it also takes some intellectual power to develop yourself as a person, like spiritually, and to think about the existential, you know, things of life as people. And second action I've taken is I pursue the arts. So I love music. I play guitar. I play piano. I like to sing. And I just love learning anything about music I can. I do photography, so for art I like to draw, and I'm not good at all these things in any means, but I still like to do them, and I try my best to learn. And the third action I've done is for body. So I go to the gym 6 to 7 days a week. Pretty healthy. I always stick with sports with my friends, and I like to keep myself fit and because it's very important. I know, as Devin said, you know, half the population will be obese. I hope not to be part of that half. So that's my third action. So in summary, I've given you 2 reasons and 3 actions that I've done to be a modern day Renaissance man. And when I did these things, these 3 actions, I felt like I wasn't wasting my potential as a human being and as a person. Like that I know, like, so many people have done so many great accomplishments, and that I would feel like I wasted my life, I wasted my potential if I did not pursue anything just because, oh, I'm not good at this yet, or I'm not that. You know, you're not going to be unless you actually try. So I decided to cultivate all my areas of interest. In conclusion, there should be no doubt in this room that I am personally committed to becoming a modern-day Renaissance man and cultivating all my areas of interest. And when you think about all the things that people have done, and think about where you want to be in life, what you want to do, just know that your only limit on yourself is your mind, and that you can do whatever you put your mind to. It sounds cliche, but it's actually very true. And that you're not going to get anywhere unless you actually try and pursue those things that you're interested in. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, where are we? What was the time?
Time was 6:08.
6:08. Okay, thank you. I guess we're here.
Hi, I'm Chenyi.
Hi, Chenyi.
I really like the speech. It's very organized, and I can feel very comfortable up there. And because I expect myself to say the improvements, so can I say the improvements?
Free country.
So I would recommend to expand a little bit for your first reason, because otherwise it's a little bit too short. Also try not to say too many filler words because it feel like it's a little bit disconnected. So rehearse more before you talk it.
Good. Thank you, Julie. Yes, please.
Hi, good evening, Dion.
Hi, Dion.
Great speech. Loved how, well, I guess I'll start that a little bit, but everybody was ignorant. Opening was unexpected. So I applaud you for that. I was like, what? Where's he going with this? Improvement. Be a little bit more animated. Get inspired about. Be passionate about what you're talking about. It seemed a little bit monotone. Gotta force myself to focus in, hone in a little bit more, but just be a little bit more animated.
Good.
Guys up there. Other than that,
Good. Those are good comments. Well, let's talk, Nathan. Be careful when you say everyone is ignorant. It sounds a little bit like an insult to your audience. And it's true that everyone has gaps in their knowledge. And in this era of specialization, there are things that people don't know, which is what you meant. And you talked about the math professor that specializes and doesn't know anything about physics or music or anything else. I wish you had tied back more to the ignorance and used that more in the end. That would have been helpful. You told us that you wanted to be a Renaissance man. You gave us the Oxford's Dictionary's definition as a person with many talents and areas of knowledge. So, your thesis was you wanted to share with us your personal commitment to developing a lot of areas, right? Fair statement? What I didn't get was your 3 actions and the benefit of how you feel about it. I didn't get a real crisp and clear preview. You skipped over the significant statement of selling it to the audience. So remember, sell it to them so they are interested in it. You told us that you have so many interests, your first reason, and you told us the story that you love music and why one area, and it was a kind of a short story, and it was a little bit personal, but it wasn't really personal as in some of the other stories we heard in here, right? It was just, I have a lot of interest. Okay? Your second story was more personal about your family and how all the musical talent, and some don't read, but they all have great interest in music, and one plays 19 instruments, and that fascinates you and inspires you. And that was pretty interesting, and I guess a good story. On your actions, you told us that you read and listen to audio speakers, you read the Bible, you pursue the arts, you play the guitar and this sort of thing, and you pick up things, you're not limited. You pick up lots of things that interest you. And you go to the gym. And then you skipped over when I performed these actions, but you doubled back afterwards and picked it up, and so that was good. Your summary, conclusion, and tieback were okay, except your tieback didn't really get it. Your canine, no steepling or clasping your hands too much, more vocal variety, and stay within the time limit. How did it go?
Well, I think I missed 2 of those.
Right.
I think I still...
Yeah, still doing that a little bit. Yeah.
I didn't go within time.
Yeah.
Vocal variety, I guess I didn't get that because beyond 20.
Yeah. To keep it more interesting.
Yeah.
And I think just in your storytelling, if you got a little more personal, why you're so dedicated to this, some more personal and interesting stories would have made it a little more compelling. I think that would have been helpful. Other than that, you got the job done. Wait, we got to give you your, we got to give you your, We got to give you your stickiness feedback. Where are we? Here.
Hi everyone, I'm Katya.
Hi, Katya.
So simplicity, I thought it was simple enough to follow, but maybe a little too simple. I would have liked to hear more about those things that you like and you want to expand on.
Yeah, the Renaissance man maybe got lost a little in the translation, huh? Okay, let's go here.
The next one is unexpectedness. I thought your opening statement about how everyone is ignorant was unexpected. However, like throughout the rest of your speech, you didn't really do anything or say anything more unexpected to keep the audience's attention. So maybe next time just include something or go in more detail.
Structure in and design in something unexpected that will really perk up and grab the audience. That's what the purpose of that unexpectedness is, and that's what you'll see in movies. I never saw that coming. And how many watched the last David Letterman show last night? Anybody? No one. One person. Did you expect all those comedians to show up on the last show?
I followed some of them on Instagram and they said they were coming, so...
Oh, you cheated. Okay. Well, I was surprised to see Barbara Walters. She came out of the blue for me. Seinfeld was a surprise. I was just surprised at some of them, but pleased. And the Peyton Manning, that was out of left field. That surprised me. Okay, let's go on to the next letter.
So the next letter, Okay, so the next letter is C, and that stands for concreteness. And basically that covers how you can help people understand your idea. And I feel like your idea was very concrete. Like you used a lot of synonyms for Renaissance man, which is like someone who has multiple interests, and you explained how like you would want to pursue all of them to make yourself a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
So I felt that like all those ideas were pretty concrete, and I understood all the things that you referenced.
Good.
Hi everyone, I'm Nellie.
I know.
I think I got stuck with credibility again, but the 3 parts to credibility are trustworthiness, expertness, and dynamism.
Yeah.
Trustworthiness, I didn't see anything come out that was untrustworthy, because again, we're all telling personal stories, and I don't think telling personal stories can be untrustworthy. Expertness, I think you bringing out the aspects of you reading so many different things a day, or like reading the Bible for inspiring quotes, or reading other things that are motivational, kind of brought out your expertness in becoming a Renaissance man, because I feel like, I was taught in high school that like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, those people were all Renaissance men because they were in science, they were in like many different aspects. So I think you bringing up the quotes really brought out the expertness in being a Renaissance man. And the third thing was dynamism. I think that when you tell your stories, there's a different way that when you're processing what you're talking and what comes out. Because I can see how when you're thinking about what stories to tell, how they can be dynamic, but I feel like the words you choose to say your story don't come out that way. If that makes any sense.
Good feedback. And the other thing I would just add is you can enhance your credibility, as some of, like you said, Devin, do by having an expert quote in there that will enhance your credibility, and you piggyback off the credibility of the President's Council on Fitness, and that gives you credibility too because you cited a credible source. See? Okay, and last but not least,
E for
no, that's not last but not least. Okay, E.
Oh, do you want me to skip E?
Yeah, you should do E. Yeah.
E is for emotion. I think in your second story you used good emotion talking about your family, and that really for me, like, showed me how you were, like, connected to them and how they had really inspired you. I think maybe for the first story, there could have been a little bit more development or emotion to feel more connected, because I didn't feel as much connected to the first story, but I did for the second one because of that emotion. So
yeah. Yeah, the first story was real light and lacking in emotion and lacking in development. And the emotion is going to give you the connection to your audience. They're going to listen up when you're re-feeling an emotion that you've had, the way you re-felt it with your inspiration about 19 instruments and the inspiring accomplishments of your family. And last but not least,
Hi, I'm Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Okay, so last one is stories. And for the first one, I didn't really get so much of a story, but for the second one, I thought you did a really good job. I thought that the 19 instruments thing was really unexpected, so that like made me like, wow. And then you said that your grandfather couldn't read, which made it even more unexpected. So I think your stories, your second one was really, really good, and again, went into emotion.
Okay, so Nathan, you got the job done. I hope you learned a lot from the feedback. Thank you. One more.
Last one.
And what is your last name?
Turner.
Turner. Yeah, how did I miss you? You are an A.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're tall, so stay back there in the green. Yeah, good. Here, I'll move back a little. Yeah, that works. She stands before you. She's got her computer open. She's texting. Managing attention, communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes near the front and center, showing them feel a love. Steady speech.
Hi, Brittany, Dion.
Hi, Dion.
Do you even lift, bro? Gains. How many more sets you got, man? These are what you hear at, John Wooden's Center most of the time. The grunts, the struggles, the self-determination, the motivation, giving it all in each and every single repetition. That's what I crave for. Today, I want to share with you my personal commitment to better myself internally through the games. Being in that zone whenever you find yourself just giving it all, just being lost in music, due to the lyrics, just forgetting about worldly issues. That's what I crave. That's what I yearn to hit every single time I go to the gym. And turns out, once I lose myself there to the music, I end up reaping the gains externally. So I want to share with you my personal commitment. I'll give you 2 reasons and 3 actions of my personal commitment to better myself through the gym and how I've done these and how I've achieved these through my actions. So the first reason, how I've promised myself to never let a single rep get away, never to let it go in vain, is because the gym is my escape from reality. I'll share you a story I saw on Reddit. Many of you hopefully you're familiar with Reddit. It's called, or at least the subtitle was called "Crave Story Swole Acceptance." And the basis of it is a long article. I hope you guys researched it. But the basis of it is Craig was this famous bodybuilder who, when life happened, his father and mother died within a couple months, got in a huge car accident, and used all of his insurance money, all his, every single penny to get that, to get his parents in order, to get his medical checks, get all that filled, even for his own self when he got in his car accident. Basically, life happened to him. He let himself get away a little bit, but he still was very muscular, started working out in the gym with a big baggy shirt, and everyone was just making fun of him because they thought he was overweight. However, the guy who's telling the story, his name is Tom. When he decides, when he musters up the courage to go talk to Craig, he received some fantastic gym advice, just simple advice of giving it all. And one thing that he said that really spoke out to me and how I implemented in my gym workouts is he said that this iron bar is nothing. Life, and I quote, he said, "Life is a motherfucker that'll beat you down. Life is unyielding. Life will destroy you. But this bar is nothing. So why not give it all? Why not overcome this? And why not beat this bar instead of letting this bar beat you down? And that struck the heart to me because back in my first year, went through some emotional entrapment, relationship issues, and that transcended to my grades. Was in a dark place, carried this heavy heart, and it really did affect me. But when my roommate or when one of my neighbors in Hendrick Hall, when he said he worked out, he said, "Come with me. It'll definitely make you feel a lot better." And through that, because I've been working out through consistently with him, I've just forget about all my worldly issues at the gym, forgot about how depressed I was, forgot about the heavy heart that I was carrying, forgot every single issue in my life. And that's one of the reasons why I attribute myself to better myself morally through the games, is because, I lose myself in each and every workout. The second reason why I promise myself to never let a single repetition go in vain is because it transcends my expectations it transcends my expectations in other aspects of my life. Whenever I, get the rewarding feeling afterwards from the gym, after a good workout, I'm inspired to go work on other things like academics, build other relationships. I don't know why, but I don't know why this happens. But I guess the gym just inspires me that much to, go out and go study, I guess, or go out to PAL. Maybe it's because of the biological, you got your blood running, but it just does. And when I do this, all my friends, they were looking at me. They're like, we've seen improvement, we love it. Can we hop on board? And that just made all the difference in the world, is because I was able to use my actions to inspire others, and that really hit home. And what Craig's story, another aspect to that, was when he was lifting. Can you help me out, Professor?
Yeah, he shit his pants. That's what it says here. I shit my pants and stood straight up, and I did my personal best and said, "Very nice."
Oh, okay. All right. Going off of that, when he was made fun of, and Tom went to go assist Craig in one of his workouts. It was like Craig told Tom, we're gonna do this. We're gonna show off. We're about to show everybody who we are. They put on these massive pounds of like 600 pounds. Start deadlifting. The whole gym is watching, and Tom, that shit my pants lyric is Tom. He was inspired to go above and beyond what he could, and he almost shit his pants because it was so heavy. But and that also transcended the rest of my life, because I was able to you think at the gym you could do only a certain amount of sets, a certain amount of weights, but whenever you have that motivation, you're able to surpass that. And through the rest of your life, if you just think just do it like Nike, just study hard, just do well, just make that extra step to cultivate that relationship, it definitely does reap gains. And I'll show you 3 actions that I've taken. First is the obvious, a scheduled workout. Shoulders, triceps, back and abs. Chest and biceps, and that's the way I break it down. But obviously that's the most obvious. But also not only just doing and going to the gym, but taking the time to learn about the body, learn about the anatomy, what exercise hits each and every part of the body. So that's one thing that I've done. The second is finding a swole mate. My roommate, who's very passionate about the gym as well. We're on each other, we're accountable, and that also has helped, in terms of never faltering in our commitments. The third action is that I've taken is inspiring others. Getting my friends, talking to them who talk about going to the gym. It's like, oh, I want to go to the gym tomorrow. I can't wait, but they never do it. I'm pretty sure you guys all encounter those type of people who always talk about wanting to go to the gym, always talk about how they're excited, but when the time comes, oh, I got a midterm tomorrow, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm sleepy, all these excuses. But just take them out, and then taking out to the gym, like, just trust me. Do you trust me? Good, you trust me? All right, let's come to the gym. Showing them the routine, and just the rewarded feeling that I get, after seeing them inspired and keeping their own schedules. It also means a lot to me. When I perform these actions, I felt a huge self-esteem boost because, as I told you, that first year, depression, a little heavy-hearted story. After going to the gym, after getting my own relationships in check, definitely did help. It definitely did help my esteem boost up, and I was able to go out and make new relationships. It also when I also performed these actions, I felt with a good feeling, knowing that I could help others. And there should be no doubt in this room that bettering myself morally through the games is my personal commitment. So to tie it up, do you even lift, bro? The games. How many more sets you got, man? Those may seem like the obnoxious type fratty, type sayings, but to me they mean more of building myself internally and harvesting the reap and harvesting just all the hard work at the game at the gym to the games. And me and my roommate, we came up with a quote that says like, "Another day, another games." Hopefully this all resonates with you. Thank you.
Time.
8:28.
Oh my god.
Okay, where are we? Here.
Do you want me to do this or just the light up?
We'll start with like.
Hi, I'm Devin.
Hi, Devin.
I really liked your speech. It might have been a little bit long, but your stories were really funny, and the Reddit story you told us was really funny, and you're so animated. It's just hard not to get distracted, to not listen to you.
Improvement.
Hi, my name is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi. First of all, I want to say that I really enjoyed your speech. I thought it was really funny, and although I couldn't personally relate to it because you go to the gym to escape reality, I go to the gym to face reality. but regardless, I could still see from your point of view. But if there's one improvement that I would have to say, it'd be that maybe you're striding too much back and forth and side to side.
Yeah, pacing. You want to move purposefully 3 times, stand and deliver, stand in one spot, and just deliver your speech if you can. Okay, let's hear the stickiness evaluation.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
First letter's S for simplicity. I thought your main idea was nice and simple. You're trying to better yourself in the gym. I think it sometimes got a little bit convoluted through some of the stories, but you brought it back in there, so you did that well.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Hazy.
Hi, Hazy.
The second letter is unexpectedness, and I think you made a really good start, like introduction of your speech. I don't know why if it was intentional that you turned back and then like cut off kind of thing. So that was kind
That
of
was just off. That was off.
yeah,
Dramatic, huh?
It made it interesting and like yeah.
Okay, I thought the shitting of the pants, that was unexpected, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Samara.
Hi,
Samara.
So for concreteness, I think that there weren't any ideas that were too abstract. Like I didn't understand everything, so I think it was good.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
All right, Rachel.
The next C is credibility, and I think you're really credible. I mean, I don't think it was obvious that you're really invested in this, and you've had a lot of experience, so that was really great. Yeah.
You want to comment on any of the aspects of credibility, like expertness, trustworthiness, and dynamism?
Expertness, I think, like I said, it was like obvious that you are really committed to like this personal commitment and that you spend a lot of time like working towards it, so that was really good. Trustworthiness, very trustworthy. Your personal stories connected to us just feeling like we knew what you were talking about and that you had been there in that situation. And then dynamism, is that his name? I feel like you're really good vocal variety throughout your whole speech, and that also helps the audience like stay connected, especially through like the different parts of your story and as you went through your outline.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I guess I'm Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Next one's emotion. I felt like you really captured the, I guess the intense emotion of like getting that last rep in or whatever. And I can connect with that because I go to the gym a lot.
Okay, good. So the emotion was communicated. Let's go here.
I guess the next one would be S for stories. At the beginning, when you mentioned why you started to go to gym, I feel like the stories connect a lot with the emotions. So I could kind of feel your heartbreak because of the whole relationship.
I could have delved into that, but that would have taken 3 hours. But
And then you also mentioned a lot of the story of Craig. And I could see your admiration for this Craig character, but then I also feel like you focus too much on him, so it was almost half the speech on Craig, half the speech on yourself. But in the end, overall, like your stories kind of like illustrated your passion and your hard work for being more fit.
Yeah, let me start with that, Dion. I liked your sort of dramatic turnaround beginning. It was sort of different and grabbing, and it got all our attention, and so that was creative and interesting. You chose to do one that was something you felt and knew about and wanted to talk about, and that was good. I would prefer that you use euphemisms for swear words and, cut out the F words and the S words, just to, elevate the discourse a little bit more. Keep it out of the slang realm, just elevate your discourse. On your first story, my criticism is that we were hearing a lot about Craig and Tom and not a lot about Dion so much as much, and I wanted to hear more personal about you, and I wish we would have had more of you in this speech, and that would have been good. And then the practicing and knowing the speech would have been helpful. And then you needed to work on, you were way over time, and so you needed to work on your storytelling so that you trim down those, where you want to be in parts of the story, and so you want to be to your actions by 4 minutes at the latest, so that you can zip right through those. And other than that, you're getting the idea. So you did a good job, just a little long, and tighten it up and lose the slang. Thank you. Okay, our work is done on PCs. Give yourself a round of applause.